Hello there and welcome to another exciting season of Inside Southeastern Football with Mike Lucas. This year we're at a different location. We're at Hawthorne's right here at University Avenue. We're going to get to those guys in just a minute, but let me welcome the head football coach of the Southeastern Lions, Coach Mike Lucas. Coach, thanks for being here. We're at a little different atmosphere this year at Hawthorne's. This is going to be a really neat place to watch some football this year.
Yeah, we're excited about the season coming up, excited what 2010 will hold for the Lions, and we're excited about Hawthorne's. It's a beautiful place here, and I'm anxious to eat their food and to see what's going on here.
Just a kind of a sneak peek of what's going to go on here at Hawthorne's. On September 4th, this place will be open for business. They're going to have food provided by Buddy's Restaurant. I don't know if you're familiar with that restaurant, but a great place to eat a steak. It's going to be right here at Hawthorne's. Also, they have the big 15-foot screen, all the TV, so come here to watch all your games. Coming up on this preseason show, we're going to take a look at the 2010 schedule, the 2010 team, the depth chart. We'll also introduce the Children of the Gulf as the Lions have a special cause they're playing for this season. But, Coach, I know you got to be ready to bang on somebody other than yourself, not far away from opening up on a Thursday night against Tulane.
We've had a very tough camp. The heat indexes have been very high. I don't remember a summer where it's been this hot during camp. But our players were in good shape. We came in, and I think we only had to IV about 9 of them that first day. But our training staff, Ms. Carrie Berthelot's done a great job keeping the guys hydrated. It's been a tough camp. We've got a lot of work done, and we're pretty healthy right now going into the season.
Speaking of heat, recently the Lions played their final team scrimmage before they get ready for Tulane at Strawberry Stadium. Had a great crowd on hand. Let's take a look at some highlights from that game.
There's a nice throw by B.J. Young to Luis Oliveira. Luis didn't make the catch. There's a great field goal attempt by our freshman kicker, Seth Sebastian, 47-yarder. We're very happy to see Seth make that kick. This is a transfer young man from the University of Northern Illinois, Ron Walker, who runs a kickoff return for a touchdown. That was a live kickoff. He did a heck of a job on that run. Here's another young kicker that's competing for the job, Jake Saltalamacchia. Here's a goal line run by Sam Fairley. Great defensive play by Tremaine Lucas. And here's a nice play by Tyler Beatty, evading pressure, throwing the ball downfield to Rashad Douglas.
Coach, overall, talk about your team's performance in the scrimmage. A lot of guys got in there. Some guys stepped up. Talk about your overall impressions of the scrimmage.
Well, we were pleased that we came out with no injuries. That's always the number one thing. We're a mature team, an older team, having 20 seniors and 18 returning starters. So, when you start banging on each other, you can have some major collisions. We came out of there with no injuries. Pleased with the quarterback position. I thought Tyler handled the day very well. In fact, a 98-yard drive, 13-play touchdown drive, made a couple big third downs. B.J. Young threw the ball very well, had a couple drops. His statistics should have even been better. And the young guys, Gavin Webster, Jeremy Myers, they also did very well. So I was pleased with the quarterback position. I thought we ran the ball hard at running back. Our O-line created some big holes. And I thought our defense ran around well and tackled well for really our first day of live tackling.
Well, there you have it, a very productive scrimmage at Strawberry Stadium on a Saturday morning. Let's take our first break. When we come back, we'll take a look at the 2010 team, some faces you can see in certain spots. You're watching Inside Look at Southeastern Football, presented by Hawthorne's right here on University Avenue. Welcome back to an Inside Look at Southeastern Football, presented by Hawthorne's right here on University Avenue. I'm Allen Waddell. Thank you for joining us on our preseason show of Inside Southeastern Football. Let's take a look at the 2010 Lions and where they'll be playing and what names you can recognize this year. The Lions welcome back 18 returning starters and 51 returning lettermen from last year's team. On offense, the Lions returned 7 starters, including preseason All-American wide receiver Simi Yarborough, and 4 of 5 starters back on the offensive line. At quarterback, the Lions welcome back senior Tyler Beatty. He returns to the Lions after having seen action in 9 games last year. Beatty threw 88 passes last year, completing 45 of them for 483 yards and 4 touchdowns. And after spending the entire offseason in Hammond working out, Beatty will be asked to be a leader this year, both on and off the field. Backing up Beatty will be sophomore B.J. Young of Hahnville, and routing out the position will be a very talented trio of freshmen, led by Gavin Webster, who was the 2009 Mr. Football in the state of Louisiana, Jeremy Myers, and Jordan Barnett. All 5 quarterbacks have been put through the fire this fall with up-tempo practices to try and get the feel for the game.
The big thing for us is really get as many game-like situations as we can in practice, and by the time you get to the game, everything slows down.
The Lions returned sophomore running back Zeke Jones. Zeke saw action on all 11 games last year, having rushed for 395 yards on 79 carries and scored 5 touchdowns. Zeke also caught 25 passes out of the backfield. Jones will get help in the backfield from sophomore Sam Fairley, who saw action in 10 games last year, and newcomers Jordan Wells from Round Rock, Texas, and Michael Chaney from Ponchatoula. The one area for the Lions that is the most exciting is the wide receiver position, led by All-American Semi Yarborough. The Lions returned 6 receivers and their starting tight end from 2009. Yarborough paced the Lions with 57 catches for 800-plus yards and 12 touchdowns, despite only playing in 10 games. Also back this year is senior Andre Tootie Cryer, who had 30 catches last year, and junior Corey Theodore, who had 29 catches and 3 touchdowns. Also in the receiver mix is senior Luis Sabavaro, Rashad Douglas, Greg Johnson, and freshman Tony McCray, along with newcomers Jonathan Dentz and Jay Cutno. Tight end Cole Wardell is back for his last go-around and will be another big body on the line to block and catch passes. None of the guys mentioned so far can do anything without help from the offensive line. And this year the line returns 4 guys from last year and will be anchored by Kevin Hughes. Hughes, a senior, has started the last 22 games for the Lions dating back to 2007 and has been a consistent all-conference lineman. Also back this year is starting center Josh Penton, right guard Michael Stallworth. Also coming back this season is senior Josh Bridges, Paul Rapolo, and Evan Niles.
You go through our media guide and count the number of college starts in our offensive line. I think we've got over 70. I think I counted 74 offensive starts in our offensive line. And when you start counting starts and comparing that to other people in the league, that's a lot of starts to have at the college level.
On the other side of the ball, the Lions are excited to see what the defense has in store as Southeastern welcomes back what is arguably its best defense in many years. The Lions returned 10 starters and 8 seniors from last year's squad. The defensive line has added some depth and welcomed back senior Steven Paczynski, or Blue as his teammates refer to him, sophomore Devin Walker, senior Nathan Clovis, along with Lindsey Lavoie, Quentin Foster, C.J. Jenkins, Will Kelly, Tremaine Lucas, and newcomer Luther Chambers. Also back this year is Devin Boutwell, who sat out last year after having back surgery.
And those big guys in the middle are where it all starts. And Coach Lacey does an outstanding job coaching them, and we let them play.
The Lions welcome back 2 hard-hitting machines at linebacker with seniors Mark Newbill and Ryan Godare. Both all-conference selection, Newbill and Godare, bring a hard-hitting style to every play, and they love to punish the opposition. Avery Crooks is also back this year, along with Jordan McClay.
Everybody's got the right attitude coming into camp. Especially, the older guys, they all know what to expect. You're going to be sore, you're going to be hurt, but everybody's wanting to push through that to get to where we want to be this year.
The guys we have behind us, it's all like competition now. I mean, they don't care about me being a starter or Tommy being a starter. All those guys working hard to become starters too.
Yet another exciting position for the Lions this year is at defensive back, with all-conference safeties Rakeem Wilson and Tommy Connors back for another go-around. Trying to throw the ball against the Lions may prove to be costly, especially when you add senior Curtis Strong and sophomore Robert Alford to that mix. Connors was cleared to play this year after missing 8 games last year with an injury. Tommy brings leadership and talent to the field.
It's good to know that second best isn't good enough anymore. And that's a good feeling to have because it allows you, even in practice as you're going against each other, you don't want to lose to the guy across from you because second best isn't good enough anymore here.
The one big question will be on special teams, where the Lions will have a freshman kicker. Seth Sebastian from Lafayette High School will be called on to perform the kicking duties. Back punting the ball this year will be sophomore Bo Mott. Mott from New Orleans averaged 38 yards a punt last year and was twice named Louisiana Special Teams Player of the Week. Well, Coach, we just took a look at a lot of the guys and where they'll be playing this year, and I think the major theme is a lot of the guys from last year are back for this year's squad.
There should be a lot of recognizable names and faces, and a lot of them are local guys. Zeke Jones in there and Tommy Connors, and hopefully our fans will be attracted to those names, and gosh, some good players and guys that have given so much to this program. That's why we feel such a sense of urgency this season to have a great year.
Well, Coach, anybody following the Lions this year have seen things on television, have seen T-shirts. One of your causes this year is for the children of the Gulf, and something you're very proud of. Let's take a look at a package on it, and we'll get Coach's thoughts on it when we come back. After practicing in the hot Louisiana sun for 2 weeks, the Lions finally got their first day off. And instead of sleeping the day away or playing video games in their apartments, the Lion team as a whole spent the day visiting with South Louisiana residents who had been affected by the BP Deepwater Horizon oil spill. The Sunday visit to Buras, Louisiana hit really close to home for some of the team.
Just showing them that we care about them. We're really thinking about them, their kids, their livelihood, and like I said, my whole family, it touches real close to home, seeing fishermen and sherpermen, because that's what my family's been. I mean, we make our living in the oil industry and everything.
Devin Boutwell, a junior defensive lineman from Plaquemines Parish, knows all too well how the oil spill has affected this community, because this is his community. So on Sunday, August the 15th, he and his teammates spent the day worshiping with the folks at his home church. The team was treated to some good music, fellowship, and inspirational words from Reverend David Carlton. The team also got to visit with Plaquemines Parish President Billy Nungesser.
To have these young men that could be doing 1,000 other things gather together today and come down here and pray with us, have lunch with us, and show their support for bringing our community back, our wetlands, and our way of life touches me right here.
After the worship service, Nungesser had the entire team and coaching staff join him at the Buras Auditorium, where he was able to visit with them on a more personal level as lunch was served. So on what was supposed to be an off day, 70 young men and the coaching staff took the time to visit and show their support for a community that has been through so much.
If you're playing for something that you really believe in wholeheartedly, you'll never forget it. You'll never forget it. It always puts you through the hard times. So.
Well, Coach, there you have it. We take a look at the Children of the Gulf package. I know that's something that's very important to you and your team. We have some T-shirts here that we're showing that you're selling to support the Children of the Gulf, and also something special on the helmet this year.
Yeah, we've decided to dedicate our season to the Children of the Gulf, and we're going to put COG on the back of the helmets, and just to let everybody know that we play. And every time we play on television, every interview we do, that we are the university that represents those folks down there and the tough time that they've had, and the tough time that the children are going through. So many people forget that the youngsters down there, they can't fish, they can't swim. So it's been a great, I think, awakening for our team, for our players, especially when we made our trip down there. And hopefully we'll be able to win a lot of football games for the kids.
And not only the name of the university, Southeastern, but also so many players on your team are from that Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi Gulf Coast. These really are the children of the Gulf.
65 of the players on our squad come from Houston, South Louisiana, South Mississippi, South Alabama, over to Mobile. So 65 of our 90 guys. We are the children of the Gulf.
Well, now, any Lion fans taking a look at the back of that helmet, wondering what COG stands for, now you know it's the Children of the Gulf. Let's take another break. When we come back, we'll take a look at the 2010 schedule right here on an Inside Look at Southeastern Football with Mike Lucas, presented by Hawthorns on University Avenue.